name's Danielle. I am a solo agent in Northeast Florida, specializing in the St. Augustine area, North St. Augustine, and South Jacksonville. I've been an agent licensed since 2016 and have done about 20 million, give or take, in volume since 2019 when I started in general real estate sales.
Oh, congratulations. That's cool to
Yeah.
hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for being on this call. Yeah. So, a first question for you. I'm not sure if you remember, but do you remember how you found out about Key Technology?
So when I first went into, I was originally on a team, used Boomtown. When I first went into being a solo agent, I looked into CRM, decided on Follow Up Boss, and have loved it ever since, but was used to always having the team had already set up the CRM for us as far as having drip campaigns and stuff like that. And I was kind of lost on what would sound best. Where can I purchase these drip campaigns? And I went into the Follow Up Boss community on Facebook. So many people had recommended Key Technology in several posts. So I was like, okay, well, I have to see what this is all about. And then not only did it help set it all up so I had the flow that I needed with any leads that were coming in, but it also helped me get some drip campaigns set up so that people weren't falling through the cracks.
Okay, very cool. I didn't know that. So, you were previously on a team. When did you decide to leave and start your own solo business?
So I started solo 2021
Okay.
was my first year solo.
Okay. So, whenever you started using or went solo, did you start using Follow Boss once you branched off on your own immediately, or did you use another CRM first?
So I used Follow Up Boss pretty much immediately. It was the brokerage that I joined. It was provided to us like as part of our dues that we paid to the brokerage, but it was our CRM system, so they still had some control over it. But when I left that brokerage, the next brokerage provided KV Core, and while it's pretty good for lead gen type stuff, it was not set up and optimized for keeping in touch with your sphere, past clients, and all of that. That's super important. So I stuck with
Okay.
Follow Up Boss.
Yeah. I'm a super fan of Follow Up Boss as well. So whenever you started using Follow Up Boss, what sorts of like how were you using it? What was your experience like with Follow Up Boss? Did you set up anything on your own with like automations or what did you do there?
I tried. I tried to set up automation, but it was becoming more of a hassle and time consuming and taking away from lead gen activities, which I was wanting to focus on. And I was trying to figure out, how do I get this set up? Okay, well, when this lead comes in, how do I make sure that it's not forgotten about and I'm notified? And if I can't get to it right away, make sure that there's a drip campaign set up, something to get a touch point to them so that they don't feel ignored or they don't feel like they signed up for, some AI, so to speak. But so yeah, I just kind of realized that I needed someone to help me because I needed to focus on building my business. And at this point, I need to work in my business and on my business, but that was just working a lot of on my business. And if you aren't generating any customers or leads, then there's really no point of having a CRM system set up. So that's
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
guys came in.
Okay. So on that topic of lead gen, would you be open to sharing? I can't remember off the top of my head, but would you be open to sharing to people watching where do you generate leads from right now for your business?
So I do prospecting, expired for sale by owners a little bit. I have an investor, so I have an opportunity to make cash offers. So I've done circle prospecting. I also signed up for Z Buyer for a little while. Really, really, really liked Z Buyer. As with most leads that you buy, they're going to be very top of funnel. I liked their prospecting list that they give you. So you sign up for their lead gen and they have all of that, but they also have a list of previous people that have inquired that you can get access to. So that's where I think I found most benefit, was through that portion of the Z Buyer lead gen. Other than that, I've previously done Zillow. I am a member of UpNest and Ojo and Prime Street, which are all kind of more pay at closing.
Hmm.
But definitely opportunities there.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
And sold.com.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sold.com is one. They're again very top of funnel. It's just kind of nurturing. At some point they requested information about evaluation. So it's just nurturing those. At some
Okay.
point they're probably going to sell. Maybe not now, maybe not this year, but building that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So then what, I know you mentioned a little bit earlier in the call that you sort of saw us recommended in the Facebook community on a few different posts, but besides that, like what ultimately made you decide to go ahead and hire us to help set up Follow Boss for you?
I think you gave away one of your drip campaigns, and I really liked the format of it. I liked the verbiage. It kind of resonated well. It wasn't super forward and upfront. It went along with things that I had previously heard and had done when I was on a team. It was a very successful team. And so I kind of dug around on your site. I talked to, I think it was Jenna, a couple people just to kind of get a feel for what it was like, and just realized it made sense with everything I saw
Mm.
that was going to be provided and done for you.
Okay. Okay. So on that topic, like done for you, you touched on it a little bit, but can you break down what we did do for you, what services we set up in Follow Boss for you?
So you really helped me narrow down my source list and my lead stages, so I knew exactly where everybody was, and it was an easy daily follow-up system. So rather than having and feeling overwhelmed going in with task after task after task, and then you just have a bunch of tasks that you can't get to because life happens, work happens, you get an appointment or something, so you end up getting bogged down, and then it just becomes overwhelming. So with your setup, you set up the smart list for me, really went in and reorganized my leads, after chatting about kind of where my thought process was. Having obviously you having done it so many times, your process just made sense, and it's made it so much easier. And you set up the smart list so you know who to call, when to call them. You set up the automation so that when a new lead does come in, we have those touch points. The action plan library, just going through and already done for you drip campaigns that not only are generic, but they also, you've taken the time to put in links to the website, links to searching, links to my resume that I have built, and all of that. It's not just words. That gives somebody somewhere to go to really continue to build that top of mind and be able to recognize me. So you're not just looking at, an email that was sent over. You also set up the different sources and stuff like that, kind of help me filter those down, because I had quite a few. So you help me do that and get that organized. So everything's just been pretty much set it and forget it. If something comes in, I don't worry about whether or not I can't get to it right now, but that's okay because I have something, there is a touch in there that's going to happen. And then just keeping the flow going throughout the whole process, throughout the whole life cycle of a lead.
Yeah, yeah, that's great to hear that you no longer have like a really long list of tasks you have to get through. I know that's a big pain point just in any CRM in general of having
Yeah.
like 100, 200 people a day. Um, what can you share like what results you've seen so far beyond like limiting your manual tasks as far as maybe your efficiency or maybe getting responses from those drip campaigns?
Yeah, I've had a number of people, so I no longer have all those tasks that are bogging me down. I can really look at my CRM and see with the integrations that are available that you help set up, I can see who is actually active and who is someone that I should be more inclined to reach out to and touch, rather than a task that I set up to call somebody for who knows what to check in. So I'd rather call the person who's been looking at 3 or 4 homes on my site than the person who had a task in there to call for whatever reason, just as a touch point. So I can really prioritize who comes first in that aspect.
Okay. Okay. So then after we finished your setup, what was our support like? I know you mentioned video library, but did you do any like one-on-one calls with us?
I did the kind of just the initial here's a glance. I wanted to get in there and see what questions I had. I did because I know that we have the 2 calls, so I didn't want to just waste them. I wanted to be able to see what it was that I would need help with, and not just, okay, yeah, it looks great. What else can you tell me? But it was offered, so I wanted to make sure I got the best use of it. So I actually haven't used my second one yet.
Okay.
um, but I mean, honestly, at this point, like everything was given to, like, put in there. They told how to use it, best practices. There's that whole sheet that you gave with not just instructions, it's videos of, here's what it looks like, here's how to organize this and go through this and move this, and to keep everything as organized as possible. So it really hasn't been necessary to use that second
Okay,
that
that's
second
great.
call.
Well, that's good. But hey, maybe 6 months from now, whatever, you run into a snag and that call's available. So but that's cool to hear you're able to just get all of your questions answered and feel comfortable just with the pre-recorded library, the cheat sheet, and the one call. Last question for you, and then I'll let you go. I don't want to take too much of your time. If someone were on the fence about working with us, what would you tell them?
Just get down and do it. You're going to spend more time trying to figure it out yourself, trying to get support from this, that, or the other. If you really want to grow your business, you need to have the proper standard of practice in place. And that's really where I think it benefited most, was I didn't have to worry about it any longer. It was kind of like somebody you would hire as like a business strategist, like, come in, like, here's what you need to do, and then you could just focus on that work, not in generating your leads for your business and growing your business that way. You don't have to worry about the background aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the fence about it, I mean, it's just, there's a need there for it. And I mean, people pay every day money, tons and tons of money, to the Z Word and Realtor and everywhere for leads. But if you're not going to take those leads and nurture them properly, you're throwing money out the window. So I would suggest, before you buy leads, make sure you're set up for success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. You preaching to the choir. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And just thank you for sharing your thoughts. I know people will find this valuable, especially from a solo agent perspective. So thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, of course.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.